At this point, I just want this awful trilogy to end with Luke waking up going, "That was an awful dream." J.J. Abrams is known for his pretty bad endings, but this ending would be a really good one right about now. It is the best that we could hope for. So if you have not heard, J.J. Abrams recently did an interview with Esquire, and he was asked a very specific question about toxic fandoms in the Star Wars fanbase. And he specifically named the Fandom Menace as being toxic. So Esquire asked him, over the last couple of years since The Last Jedi came out, I've been writing a lot about the response to that movie. I personally thought it was pretty bad. I've thought all two of the movies that are out are pretty bad, and I do expect the third in the trilogy to be pretty bad. And some of the toxic fandom around Star Wars in this new era. Are there some fans who take issue with the filmmaking, other fans who take issue with some of the more progressive themes? I'm curious, how do you watch the response to Star Wars movies change in this modern era compared to maybe the prequel series or how fans originally responded to them? Keep in mind that people did not like the prequel series, and now fans are looking back at the prequel series going, that was pretty good compared to what J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson have done to Star Wars. J.J. Abrams said, I think that the bigger question is, how has everything changed? The reaction to Star Wars, the increased attacks, the increased negativity, the fandom menace, as they call it, that is not unique to Star Wars, obviously. And I think we live in a time where if you are not being divisive, if you're not creating something that's adversive clickbait, sometimes you don't quite feel like you're playing the game. I always loved Star Wars because it's got a huge heart. Did I always believe and agree with every single thing that happened in every movie, whether it was the prequels or the original trilogy? No. But do I love Star Wars? Yes. He is specifically calling out the Fandom Menace, calling them a toxic fandom. Now, one of the first things that I want to say is that he is very offended, obviously, by the reaction to Star Wars, the increased attacks, the increased negativity. I just want to point out that we are living in an age of social media. People can voice their opinions on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on social media very easy now. And when the past prequel trilogy came out, and of course the trilogy before that, social media was not around, and it definitely not what it was today, and that is something we have to consider. He is offended that people are upset and these increased attacks are happening, yet all these increased attacks we'll put them in quotes, are just people criticizing him because before, you couldn't get input on what you were creating. You didn't get the amount of fan feedback as you do today. And one of the worst things, in my opinion, that you can do, that he did, is calling people toxic and calling fandoms toxic. Calling people toxic that you want money from is the worst possible move, and that is what J.J. Abrams has done here. I do not respect him any more than I did before this interview. I respect him less. He is visibly mad because people are calling him out for his inadequate work with one of the most popular franchises in the world. He is also angry that there is a book coming out about these people that criticize him openly, and he knows this book is going to rail him and Disney for their awful choices with Star Wars. Nothing he or Kathleen Kennedy does at this point shocks me. They've proven time and time again that they do not deserve the jobs and positions that they have, and they have proven to many of us that they do not actually care about the jobs they have. I think it is awful that he is specifically naming this fandom because he's angry that they criticize him. I know so many people that love Star Wars, and all of these people that make videos that comment on the trilogy, they want it to be good. They are only criticizing it because they want it to be good. But let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about J.J. Abrams naming and attacking the Fandom Menace and just toxic fandoms, as they call it in general? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and of course if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.